Electro is a real challenge. I mean, he goes through a couple of stages in the movie of sort of the evolution of his look.
The best part was having Jamie on board, and that's really what made it. He was really excited to play Electro. Deborah Scott, who's our magnificent costume designer, would get him into the costume, and he dons this absolutely super cool, super villain costume that I love. I think it just, when I saw that, I was like, this cannot be any cooler.
That was a tricky costume to do because it was based on a uniform in this environment of Ravencroft Institute. The biggest challenge was like, oh my God, now he's got to wear black rubber. I hope it doesn't look like a wetsuit. It took months to sort of sculpt that and get it into something that has still that kind of feeling, but yet hopefully is a little bit more masculine and cool.
Remember me.
I remember seeing photos, and I went to Jamie. I said, have you seen the supervillain costume yet? He's like, no, what's it look like? I said, this dude, you're gonna be the most badass supervillain ever.
Some of the early renderings of his suit, I liked the black suit. I couldn't deal with the green and yellow suit. It just didn't feel right to me. I felt I wanted him to be a little bit more badass. I couldn't figure out a justification for yellow suspenders.
We do have a small lightning bolt. You know, we had to reduce it and move it because, you know, some of those things it just doesn't work anymore to the contemporary eye.
I'm trying to make this feel a little bit more real. I wanted to have a real rationale for this stuff. And I felt like, well, all the people that were treating Max Dillon were wearing these static or protected suits so that they could interact with him. And so when he comes out, at the beginning, he's essentially naked. So he needs something to wear, so he steals one of the suits of the people that have been effectively torturing him.
I will get results.
For Electro, we had an extremely challenging brief. Essentially, Kafka wants to study Electro, and how do you study someone like him? Mark's answer is you build a huge cage. In that cage, you have another cage that a human is trapped inside.
This is Ravenscroft, where Electro, who's captured, is restrained and tested and eventually learns how to make himself stronger through that process.
So what we have here is the Electro rig. Looks like it'd be very, very difficult to get in and out of here, but actually it's only 6 bolts and then a linch pin, and then the whole thing opens up.
What Jamie had to get into held him in there. He was bolted in. There's a chest piece that bolted down, ribs that come around him, clamps on his arms, clamps on his fingertips, clamps on his head, clamps on his neck. And once he was in this thing, which took about 18 minutes to dress him into it, the robot would lift him up over the tank, and he would be like that, prone for as long as the shot took. He's a man of extreme patience. He never complained, never grizzled, but I know that can't have been a comfortable experience. But visually, what they got in that set was fantastic. The whole thing just came together beautifully.